Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson, and I'm channeling the man in the moon. So, one thing I should note is that I do readings, and I do readings that include things like past lives and those who have crossed over, whatever messages they might have for you. If you want to have a discussion with those who have passed, don't hesitate to make an appointment. I also teach channeling if that interests you at all. So today I've got 4 questions. I may not get to all of them, but the first one is, will there be a successful 1/6 commission? Perhaps you've heard that they are planning to do a commission for January 6th, but the Republicans keep blocking it. So I'm curious to see if that will happen. I'm already getting a picture of Nancy Pelosi. What you doing there, Nancy? She draws a circle, and then she's kind of got her arms folded. So the circle maybe means things coming back around, and her arms folded seems like kind of a demand. It's funny because she looks satisfied in the circle, but she doesn't look satisfied with her arms folded. So let's see what else we can know about this commission. One thing that I get is it's complicated. There's a lot of information coming in to the body of the to the various bodies of law enforcement, and that information is very compelling. So you can make a lot of you could get a lot out of understanding that and sort of understanding the direction and why this happened. You could also really see who did what and punish some of those people via law enforcement, FBI. So I'm not sure she's going to be able to pull it off. As I see it now, I think it's just she's almost like, hey, waste of time. There's no anything that's going to be bipartisan is going to be totally watered down. They caused the crisis. They don't want to draw attention to themselves. And if it is just one party, the Democrats, then it'll just be perceived as a political witch hunt. So she's kind of going, what's the big deal? Like, yeah, I'd love to do that, but, it's not practical. These people are too biased to study what happened. Leave it to, in a way, it's like leave that political problem to other bodies, which will prosecute. Spirit, can we know anything more about this? No. Look, I don't count on it. If it does get started, it will be pretty much a waste of time, right? However, there does seem to be some impetus to law enforcement to prosecute. Remember, law enforcement, these were the people who were under siege. Some of them, one guy lost 3 fingers, somebody had their eye gouged out. 20% of the people in law enforcement were physically injured, some of them very seriously, and as we know, 1 man died, and 2 people committed suicide afterwards. So there is now a reason for the police to do this. Not that there wasn't before, but there's another layer of unbiased people who do want to get to the truth. And it seems that, the Republicans aren't going to go out on a limb for those people. They're still pretending that it's a rarefied group. So leave this one to other bodies. Right? It's just too politicized within the Senate. Yeah, okay, that's Nancy's giving me the go-ahead, was saying, yeah, and don't blame Nancy. It's not a hill worth dying on, right? So, the next question: will Trump continue to dominate the Republican Party? I'm surprised by this answer, and the answer is kind of no. Don't count on it. Don't count on it. Something's going to happen to Trump so that he can't really keep going. There's too many lawsuits. He is going to be very busy defending himself against all of the lawsuits. And less the Republican Party is going to want to have to defend Trump and his various lawsuits. Let's see what else. So Trump is going to again? Will he dominate the party? It's going to go like this and then down. So yeah, presently maybe he's got a lot of he's able to dominate, and he may continue to do so. But I tell you, this man is poison to the Republicans. He will push all the candidates to the right if he can. He'll undermine existing Republican candidates. And as he pushes them to the right, they'll be less attractive to the centrists and less attractive just in general. He really has managed to split the party. So once more, will Trump hold influence? He's kind of trying to pull the strings. Look, these people don't want him pulling the strings. They want the voting population that is following him, so they're going to pretend to let Trump pull some strings. But ultimately, they would be happy to take his place, among other things. Keep in mind that this fake loyalty is just that. They would throw him over in a heartbeat if they could. And I'm thinking of like the Josh Hawleys and Ted Cruz's of the world. If they could get rid of him tomorrow, they would. They want to get his people on their team and look how Trumpian I am. But they're, and leave the dirty work to everyone else. They'll do the prosecuting. But they know that Trump is, to some degree, poison. And some serious things are going to happen to Trump. So if you're thinking that Trump might get away with it, I don't see that at all. I always see gray bars. I always see Trump either almost going to jail or actually in jail. And I think both of those things will happen. There'll be a long period of time of Trump trying to keep out of prison and having more and more financial difficulties. Right now, I mean, we all know he was hiding his taxes for a reason, right? So, and maybe I'm just going to ask that question right now. Why is Trump hiding those taxes? Or should I say, was he hiding those taxes? Well, let's, first of all, I see some of the call girls that he paid off. I know there's two of them, Stormy Daniels, I forget the name of the other one. But the second one showed up more than Stormy. And I think that number one on the list was paying her off was a crime. And it's easily provable. We can see his checks, and there are witnesses like his former lawyer. So this is going to be number one on the list of things that gets him in a lot of hot water financially, and you can go to jail for that. This is number one. Is there anything else? Yeah, I'm seeing banks. He really, either he cheated the banks or he cheated the IRS or both. Is that a bank building I'm seeing or is it the IRS building? Both. Okay, so, and it's also just a building, right? We know that he lied about his value of his buildings. So that's going to be a really major problem and a major, I'm getting, drain on his resources. He's running out of cash. There are other sources of cash, but he's going to have a lot of problems finding lawyers who are willing to work for him because they want to get paid. And they want to keep their law licenses. They don't want to be told to do things that are illegal. This is a real problem for Trump. He has really painted himself into a corner. When you're president and you have all these powers, that's one thing. But when you're a regular citizen and you can't pull strings like you used to, and you have fake friends in the Republican Party, well, they'd be happy. Republicans would be really happy to see him go to jail. Then he could be a martyr, and they could stand on his martyr shoulders and talk about what a martyr he is, and da-da-da-da. Yeah, but he will have great problems in the future. There are roadblocks and roadblocks and roadblocks. I don't, and I'm literally seeing a street with a roadblock, a roadblock, a roadblock, a roadblock, all the way to what looks like Mar-a-Lago. So there will be some problems, and it's interesting because you can think of driving to Mar-a-Lago, block, 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 or coming from Mar-a-Lago, block, 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 block. There are a lot of barriers. Don't count on him ever running for office again. He will not have the money to do that, and he will be too busy fighting his legal problems. He might try. He might start on down the road to running for office. Will he do that? People want him to do that. And everyone's going to undermine it. Not necessarily Democrats, but Republicans do not want him running again. Right? He would be, among other things, their opponent. He's, makes them look really bad, divided the party. They don't want him to be. They don't want him to be the next president or governor of anything. And also, well, I still wonder if Trump will flee. Is Trump going to flee? Okay, I do see him getting on a small plane. I do see Melania saying, no way, I'm not doing that. His kids seem frightened enough to get on the plane with him. They're starting to see their own liabilities in this, their own risks. Where's the plane going? Well, the image I see, it could be the Middle East. There's kind of deserty looking place, and then there's water, a lot of water, and then there's like a kind of glimmering city, not far from the water. I suppose this could be someplace like Dubai. I don't know, but let me ask one more time: will Trump flee? I'm getting a pretty firm probably. When will Trump flee? December. Yeah, things really heat up. Yeah, it's a lot of it is about money. He just wants to keep control of the money that he has. He gets in trouble with the IRS. They'll get their money. Okay, and that's it for that topic. Um, So I'm not just concerned about Trump. I'm also concerned about all of these, people around him who did nefarious things, and whether there will be any justice. Well, principal among these people is William Barr. hmm And keep in mind, William Barr went so far with Trump, but then there was a point where he stopped and said, nope, I'm not going to go any further than this after the riots. So consider that Barr knows he did something wrong. Also, consider just the personal loss that was that disaster. He's marked for the rest of his life. People know him as the man who he became. So there is a great deal. He'll never enter politics again. There's a great loss for him, just in terms of relevance. And he did stuff that was wrong, and he will face jail time. It might not be very long, and it might be sort of reduced jail time to community service or something. But he looks really ashamed and sheepish in this image that I'm seeing where he's being asked these questions. Do not expect these things to happen right away. None of this might happen even this year because the government is too busy doing other things. Biden and the Dems are trying to solve major problems and, win a next election. So they don't necessarily have time to prosecute all these people, and it takes a while to build up a prosecution. So the district attorney, attorney general, all those various people, they will need time to discover it. Keep in mind, in the meantime, everybody's sweating, right? So there is a punishment going on. Everybody's worrying about what will happen because they know what they did. What did William Barr do? What's the major thing? Obstruction of justice is what I get. He didn't. He has a lot of information about Trump that he's going to be compelled to share. There's no other option for him. That's the only way out of prison. because he knows things, and he'll have to go state's evidence to stay out of jail. Again, he might serve some jail time, but it's more like a month in jail and a long probation because he cooperated. Is he going to cooperate? Is that the deal? Yeah, he will cooperate because he doesn't want to spend his life in jail. All right. So I'll go to the next question, and I'll be doing another show this week. Thanks so much for watching.